Isn't it crazy how we can have our lives completely together? Career is popping, our home life is great, and we're showing up for everybody else. But the second we open our banking app, we get overwhelmed and just close it. There's this weird silent anxiety when you're making good money, but you still don't feel entirely safe. And honestly, it's because a large chunk of the wellness industry keeps telling us that self-care is about face masks and bubble baths while completely ignoring routines that give you long-term peace of mind. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build a simple, trauma-free financial self-care plan, the 4 practical habits that you need to establish in order to protect your cash flow, and the subtle shift in your long-term planning that finally turns off that low-grade anxiety for good. Let's think about how you handle your job during the day. If a project at work goes awry or something unexpected pops up, you don't panic, shut your eyes, and hope for the best. You don't ignore your emails or skip meetings because you're stressed. You take a deep breath, you take a beat, you look at what needs to be fixed, and you quietly figure out a new plan. You're cool, calm, and capable. But when we look at our own bank accounts, all that logic goes straight out the window. Suddenly, we're not behaving like calm professionals anymore. We go straight into emergency mode. We treat those numbers like a scary report card on our self-worth, instead of what they are, just pieces of information. When you start looking at your cash flow with the same calm, objective focus that you give work issues, that shame completely disappears. You stop constantly reacting to money emergencies, and you finally get to be the one in control. So what does financial self-care even mean? If you look up the word self-care on like TikTok, Instagram, you're gonna see a ton of videos on skincare routines, bubble baths, expensive green smoothies, or going on a shopping spree after a stressful day at work. And look, there's absolutely nothing wrong with those things. They feel great in the moment. But have you ever noticed that the calm from a bubble bath vanishes the second you get out and remember that there's a credit card bill due? Or how that temporary high from buying something new immediately turns to guilt when you check your bank account balance? That's because a large chunk of the wellness industry has taught us to treat self-care like an escape from our lives. We spend money to temporarily numb the stress. But true self-care isn't just about spending money to escape your life. It's about managing your money so that you can feel safe in life. It's supportive, it's practical, and it protects your peace of mind. If you're feeling a lot of heavy emotional weight about this, I want you to know that you're not alone. Studies actually show that 58% of women carry money stress compared to the 44% of men. We're carrying so much emotional burden when it comes to money. When we're talking about financial self-care, we're not talking about living a life of restriction or staring at a spreadsheet until your eyes cross. We're talking about building gentle habits that reduce that emotional burden. The entire goal is to take you from that avoidant, anxiety-driven loop so that you can finally take a deep breath, look at your bank balance without panicking, and feel like you're in control. When we talk about taking control, we need to address what stops us from doing it. It's tied to a deep sense of safety. True peace of mind does not come from guessing or hoping things will just work out. It comes from knowing exactly where you stand and knowing that you have a real fallback plan if things go awry. But so many of us carry this silent, hidden fear that sits in the back of our minds. Psychologists have a name for it. It's called bag lady syndrome. It's this intense, irrational fear that no matter how hard you work, you're somehow going to lose everything and be destitute, having nowhere to go. Studies show that nearly a third of women, even those making over $200,000 a year, have this exact same fear. Isn't that wild? This means that you can work yourself to the bone, secure the promotions, climb the ladder, make great money, but without a routine that proves to your brain that you're secure, that underlying anxiety keeps hanging around. This just proves how much we need structure in order to feel safe. Our brains naturally just want to organize things to protect our peace. If you look at all your money as a big blob in your checking account, your brain can easily treat it like a threat because it doesn't actually know what that money is supposed to do for you. So to help ease that fear, we can use a simple practical tool called sinking funds. So we take that big old blob of money and we break it down into very specific, highly visible targets. We give the money clear boundaries. When you give your cash specific buckets, your mind can stop spinning out on the worst case scenarios because you can look at your accounts, see the proof that you're protected, and feel that you're in control. Once you have that structure in place, the next step is focusing on the everyday actions that we can take to protect your cash flow. These aren't rigid rules made to lock you down. They are 4 supportive habits that keep your money moving in the right direction without requiring you to track every single penny. The first habit is simply having a plan for every paycheck. This means that you're giving your dollars a specific job before the month even begins. So you're always the one in the driver's seat. When you decide ahead of time where your money's going, it takes away the mid-month panic where you look at your balance and wonder how it got so low. The second habit is building an emergency fund. Think of this as the ultimate safety net between you and the chaos of this world. When you have a solid cushion sitting there, an unexpected car repair or a medical bill goes from being a massive life-altering crisis to a minor inconvenience that you could easily handle. The third habit is using those sinking funds we talked about earlier. This is truly the secret to enjoying your life without the constant feeling of spending guilt. Sinking funds are just smaller savings buckets for the things you know you're going to spend money on later. Gifts, vacation. So instead of getting hit with a massive bill all at once and scrambling to cover it, you could save just a little bit each month. That way, when it's time to take that vacation or to spend on those gifts, you get to spend that money completely guilt-free. And the fourth habit is to establish a baseline retirement plan. This allows you to look out for your future self so that you don't have to carry the weight today for tomorrow's unknowns. Putting these small pieces in place right now ensures that you're protected long-term, so you can focus entirely on enjoying your life now. Now, knowing these 4 habits is one thing, but actually putting them into practice without triggering an old urge to run away and close that banking app is where the real work happens. We need to take these steps outside of the realm of a stressful chore and into a gentle, recurring event, like a money date. The secret to a successful money date is about how you design the environment around you. If you sit down to look at your bank account at your kitchen table when you're already stressed, surrounded by a pile of bills and messy clutter, your brain is going to automatically treat the session as an interrogation. Instead, I want you to intentionally change the vibe. Put on your comfiest clothes, light a candle that you love, put on a high vibe playlist that puts you in a good mood. Maybe even take yourself to a cute little coffee shop nearby and treat yourself to your favorite drink. By creating a warm, positive sensory experience, you're sending a clear signal to your nervous system that you're safe, relaxed, and not in danger. Once you're comfortable, keep the actual math simple so you don't overwhelm yourself. You don't need to track every single afternoon coffee or pack of gum. Just focus on 4 or 5 broad spending categories like housing, food, fun, savings, and that's it. And finally, take your willpower out of the equation by using automations. Set your monthly bills, your savings goals, and your sinking funds to transfer automatically the day after you get paid. When your system is running smoothly on autopilot in the background, you don't have to waste your precious daily energy making hard decisions. Your money just works for you while you sleep, keeping you effortlessly in control. Having this routine on autopilot changes how you look at your entire future. It gives you a sense of true independence, which is especially important when we look at how we navigate our relationships in our lives. True financial self-care means maintaining your own separate individual bank accounts even when you are in committed marriage. We're not trying to keep secrets from our partner, but maintaining some autonomy and freedom. When you have your own space for your money, it means that when you want to buy a gift for your partner, treat a friend to dinner, or make a decision for yourself, you don't have to ask permission or feel like you're being monitored. This keeps you firmly in the driver's seat of your own life. And looking at the big picture is so important because statistically as women, we live longer lives. So we have a much longer time horizon to plan for. It's very common to fall into the panic of panic saving. It's very common to fall into the pattern of panic saving out of fear because we don't know what life is going to bring. But when you shift your focus toward building long-term peace of mind, everything changes. You get to stop worrying about running out of money later in life, and you can focus on how to make your money support you for the rest of your life. It turns money from a source of anxiety into a tool for your financial freedom. When you look at it that way, financial self-care is less about managing numbers and more about giving yourself a baseline of respect. But if you're sitting here, not sure where your finances land right now, it could feel a little bit intimidating to figure it out on your own. But the fact is, you can't fix what you don't see. If you want to get a completely clear and honest look on the state of your finances without spending hours staring at a computer, I put together a simple tool to help you do just that. It's the Financial Fitness Checklist. This quick, highly targeted assessment helps you assess your current money habits across 5 critical areas, including your income streams, your saving strategies, and your retirement goals. In less than an hour, it calculates your exact score and tells you exactly where you want to focus your efforts when it comes to your finances. And if you want to take your checkup a step deeper, there's an optional workbook attached to it. The workbook gives you a physical space to map out your specific numbers, select your direct strategy, and complete practical exercises so you know exactly which areas of your life need that extra bit of attention instead of wasting your energy just worrying about it all the time. This will help you take a beat and move forward with absolute clarity. You can grab your copy and the short video trainings that go with it here, or you click the link in the description. I can't wait for you to check it out.